officially arrived on the Upper Peninsula, or UP of Michigan, and our first stop is going to be the small town of St. Ignace. It has a population of around 2,300, and its major source of income is tourism. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about this week's episode is the fact that we didn't film anything here. Or at least we didn't plan on filming anything here. This was going to be just another hotel stop. I originally had us booked into a small hotel on Mackinac Island, but at the last minute I decided to change that booking to St. Ignace, mainly because of costs of the room size, Wi-Fi availability, and all the hassle of having to park on the UP and then take the ferry and transfer all our stuff over there, then drag it to the room and back. And I was also concerned a little bit about running out of things to do, particularly while filming on the island. So, at the last minute, I moved us from Mackinac Island over to the Best Western Harbor Point Inn in St. Ignace. The Harbor Point Inn was a very nice place with a beautiful view of Lake Huron and all the other things you'd expect from a summer resort hotel. However, it was starting to show its age and could have used a little refresh. All in all, though, we had no serious complaints and it was very comfortable. But, as luck would have it, it turned out that we had two of our most favorite meals of the entire trip right here in St. Ignace. First, we had dinner at the Village Inn restaurant. I don't think that's related to the old Village Inn pizza franchise. It didn't look like it. But it had the most unappealing looking fish dinner that I've ever seen, and it turned out that it was absolutely excellent. That meal was followed up by a piece of absolutely outstanding cheesecake. So, very nice place to eat. And if that wasn't enough, I took Edith May to a local truck stop for her Mother's Day breakfast. I know, I really spoiled her, but what can I say? That breakfast also turned out to be the best breakfast that we had on the entire trip. However, after eating hotel breakfasts for 7 or 8 days in a row, almost anything tastes better. Now, after our fine dinner, we went ahead and checked out the Keewatin Indian Casino just outside of St. Ignace. And while the gambling was fine, I think I won about $500 or $600, the restaurant they had in there was absolutely pathetic. It looked like it was going to be a restaurant, but it really wasn't. The food was about what you'd expect to get out of a 7-Eleven store's vending machines. So I don't recommend that place. It was a big casino, and yeah, I won some money, but all in all, it was kind of a disappointment. Now, one final note that was good about the Harbor Inn Best Western was we were within walking distance of Schlepper's ferry service, which runs from St. Ignace or Mackinac City on the other side of the bridge to Mackinac Island. We purchased the extended trip over, which takes you on a little boat tour underneath the Mackinac Bridge, and they give you a little history of the bridge. And that was nice. It was very enjoyable. It was a little cold. It was too cold to be outside in films, but it was a very nice trip. Now, that costs $36 per person for an adult ticket. Now, I don't know if parking was included with that $36 or not, because we had a free trolley ride that picked us up and took us right over there. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and take a look at what footage I do have of St. Ignace. And as far as a location to visit Mackinac Island, it worked out very well. I was very pleased with it. So, here's what I've got, and for the next couple episodes, we're going to be walking around Mackinac Island and looking at historical sites.
You should have taken that one too.
Well, I should have. This is a breaking news edition of Random Destination. This is dinner at Village Inn in St. Ignace, and I have whitefish broiled with what they do to the Brussels sprouts. Roasted Brussels sprouts and a baked potato, and behind the beer, Sonny has a plank whitefish with sweet potatoes and broiled tomatoes and Brussels sprouts. Now, I'll say we both agreed on one thing. This is really, truly the first regional dish we've had on this trip. I've had nothing like this anywhere. I am not a fan at all of Brussels sprouts, and yet these are surprisingly good. So I decided at the last minute to go ahead and film this. Everything is very good, and it's not, if I had looked at this first before I bought it, not a chance in hell I would have bought it. So we're pleasantly surprised. It's the Village Inn, not to be confused with Village Inn Pizza. It's Village Inn in St. Ignace, Michigan, and this is their whitefish dinner. Very good food. All right, Edith May and I are finishing off dinner with a turtle cheesecake with whipped cream. Right, baby? Right. Dig in. We found sharing a dessert is just about perfect for us. We can get it with every meal, not feel too guilty about it, and Carter Cash gets to eat 3/4 of it. Right, baby?
When I like you. That was really good.
All right, this is the traditional Mother's Day breakfast for Edith May at a place aptly called the Truck Stop in St. Ignace. We found this on TripAdvisor and talked about how large the portions were. And as you can see, they are very large, and the hash browns are excellent. So it's not every day I take Edith May out for a big meal on a holiday like this, but for Mother's Day. What do you say, baby? Pretty impressed, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we made it to the Mackinac Island Ferry. We are sitting on one of Scheffler's ferry boats that run about every hour. It's pretty early in the morning. It's kind of cool. They have a group of middle schoolers that are taking over today. So, I don't know how many people this ferry holds, but it looks exactly like that one over there, which I think is their competitor, Star. I'm not sure.
Starline.
Yeah, it's it was $76 or $72 for 2 tickets. That gets you to the island and back, and make sure you don't miss the last ferry of the day, which I think is around 6 o'clock, because if you do, you'll be sleeping in the road on Main Street, because there's no ferry service after that. You either have a hotel room or you're stuck on the island. And there's no campgrounds that I'm aware of on the island either. So, not a problem for old people, because 6 o'clock is past cocktails on the veranda time for me. So we'll be back in plenty of time.